You are welcome to the Lord TV, your number one fantastic reality TV that gives you all that it takes to be enlightened on trending news such as politics, entertainment, sports, and what have you. If you are new on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button as well as already subscribed. So please don't forget to drop your comments anytime I drop new videos. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Viewers, we have another interesting trending news for you today, and the headline is Foreign Observers Cannot Blackmail Supreme Court to Change Verdict. But before I proceed, please don't forget to leave your comments behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as the bell button to get updated anytime we upload new videos. The news in details. Social media handlers and supporters of the sacked Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha have in recent time flooded the blogosphere with news of the expected arrival of a certain American lawyer Bruce Finn, whoever he might be, and other so-called international organizations to monitor the proceedings of the March 2nd Supreme Court reviewing hearing over the verdict handed down on Ihedioha. We have to understand one fact in this matter, and that is the fact that Nigeria is a sovereign nation and cannot be dictated to by any other nation what happens within its territory. They cannot also be dictated to by international bodies or foreigners, most of whom are functioning with little or no information of what our electoral laws are. The presence of the so-called international observers cannot influence the decision of the Supreme Court. Over the matters before them, neither can an American have a say in what happens in a courtroom in Nigeria. America has its laws and electoral rules and regulations, which are different from what you will find in Britain and most certainly different from what you will see in Nigeria. Unless the American lawyer is taking a crash course on Nigerian electoral laws and somehow miraculously graduates from the Nigerian law school to qualify him to practice in Nigeria over such matters, which doesn't concern international laws, then his presence, if ever he would even grace the court with it, would be yet another wasted aeroplane ticket, as it would be of no significance to the outcome of the court decision. However, knowing the PDP and her media handlers, this is yet another plot to bamboozle and blackmail the Supreme Court into changing their verdict to their favor. We heard this same story during the first session when they appeared unprepared and asked for an adjournment. The media space was awash with how Wole Soyinka and international observers were monitoring the proceedings, but Soyinka would come out to deny any involvement in the review proceedings. On that day, no international observers was anywhere around the courtroom, despite all the media noise generated by the PDP media handlers. Even if they were in attendance, their presence would not have been of any significance to the decision of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which supersedes the decision of any other court in the country and cannot be bulldozed into recounting itself by international bodies. We have heard other media reports from the PDP media handlers, ranging from travel bans on the Supreme Court judges, which the American embassy denied, to forfeiture of their property based abroad, which has panned out to be false. We even heard other media stories against the governor, Senator Hope Uzodinma, where they claimed their spies saw him kneeling and prostrating. I, for one, know that any professional spy or private detective goes about with a powerful camera. So please, where is this so-called picture showing Hope Uzodinma kneeling and prostrating? These media strategies have been designed to put pressure on the Supreme Court, as well as garner false sympathy from the people. It's unfortunate that Ihedioa would deploy falsehood as a tool to gain public sympathy rather than argue his case with facts. I would advise that Ihedioa's legal counsel try and prove their case in court rather than trying to infuriate the Supreme Court judges in their attempt to use the media in blackmailing them. Thank you for listening to this news. Viewers, first and foremost, I refuse to be biased. I am not an emulate, but the truth has to be said. The reason for this review is as a result of the unfair judgment passed against Emeka Ihedioa. And the fact is not far-fetched, because if you view it in different angle, you will see that it's worth reviewing so that a proper result concerning the Imo State election will be gotten and the people will be presented with the right leader. That the international observers are present to observe the ongoing judgment should not be a threat to the Supreme Court. I don't see the international observers as a threat to the Supreme Court. They are only there to do what they feel that is right. They are there to help monitor and make sure that fair judgment is passed, considering what they observed that has happened. You see, the presence of the foreign observers is of good to Nigeria. I don't want us to start seeing their presence to be a disadvantage to Uzodinma or Ihedioa. No, it's for the good of this judgment, of this review. And yes, their presence will still have a positive influence. Why? Why is that the presence of the international observers will help put off any form of biased mind. If they are going to experience any form of biasness inside the court, the presence of these foreign observers will put up a fear. Yes, that is what their presence is going to put up. It will put up a fear to whoever wants to come up with any foul play. And if there is any foul play in the court, though the foreign observers may not have a say inside the court, but then we definitely have a say after the judgment has been passed. And definitely, if at the end of the judgment, they find these foreign observers will come up with their own comments concerning the judgment, and if they discover that the judgment passed by the Supreme Court is not a fair one, definitely, I'm telling you that the comments the foreign observers concerning the judgment is going to have an effect on the judgment that has been passed by the Supreme Court, and it will cause a total nullification of that election. So their presence is of great importance and will still have influence on today's review. So, and that Nigeria is experiencing an interference by the foreign observers is caused by Nigeria. Yes, of a truth, every country have its own laws, the law that backs them. But Nigeria have its own law, America have its own law. But then, something must warrant the move of something. You see that the international observers are here in Nigeria to witness this review is as a result of what has happened between Hope Uzodinma and Emeka Ihedioha. And for that not to repeat itself, these foreign observers has developed interest into coming to give assistance for a pure review to be made in order to fight and shun any form of chaos or violence that may arise after the review has been made. You can see one of the reasons why this presence of international observer to Nigeria today is going to have a positive effect. It's going to do a lot of things. So Nigeria is experiencing international interference because of our inability to do the right thing. That is why we have international ambassadors. These international ambassadors go out, look up to what is happening in the international countries, know how these international countries will be of help, or we need help either from us or from them. You understand? So I think their presence in Nigeria, they discover that there is a loophole, or there's an issue in Imo State that needs to be resolved, and then their presence needs to be graced, and something like that. And so that's why you are seeing them present. They are not present to punk nose or to do anything different from what they have come for. No, they are there because they want a fair review to be made and to help Nigeria shun any form of violence or chaos that may arise after the review. So if Nigeria as a country doesn't want any of this experience to repeat itself, then when next an election or a pronouncement to be made, there should be a clear review of what should be done. So I don't know. What is your comment concerning this news? Don't forget to leave them behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell buttons to get updated anytime we upload new videos.